I haven't talked about it, but I was watching some stuff about the border today. I've been keeping an eye on the situation, and it's just been getting more horrendous all the time. But I think they got to get it. They got to start thinking a little carefully on this. You got to get a little nervous about this because what have you got? Like 10,000 Haitians and others mixed in that crowd. And I heard today that there's approximately another 20,000 on their way. Well, the ones that they have there now are getting real antsy. And they have figured out that the likelihood is we're not going to let them in. They came here thinking, but that's not working out. And now they have started sending them, some of them, back to Haiti, which is a mess anyway. And Haiti doesn't want them, and they don't want to go back. So, like today, they had a bus full of them that kind of made a break for it. And I think you're going to see more of that. And with that many people involved, and they're pretty damn desperate, and they're pretty resourceful. I mean, they've gotten by all this time. If they get it into their heads, and if they get organized to any extent, you aren't going to be able to stop them. They're gonna just go right through, and it's going to end up being a bloodbath. Particularly if they get a hold of machetes, which they probably have, judging by the shelters that they're building. And these people know how to use a machete. So I think you've got a huge disaster brewing. I mean, it's a mess now, but I think you have a bloody mess on the way. I think the only way, they're going to have to get, not just little border patrol nonsense going on. You need the army down there. You need an overwhelming force, because you aren't going to stop them. If they decide to make a break for it, you are not going to stop them. That's the craziest thing. But that's what happens. I got a horse that walked up to the camera, very close to the camera. But I would say, just looking at the attitude that I see, we keep thinking, oh, this is a humanitarian disaster that we can just kind of nice our way out of this. Give them a little food, give them a little water. They ain't going to be happy with a little food and water. They're going to run right over you. I can see that coming. Because the last thing they want to do is go back to Haiti. And then we have this crazy idea that, we'll just send the men back and we'll keep the women and children. I don't know where we get this weird, we think that's a humanitarian thing to do, but they ain't going to let that happen. And we really don't need them either. What we need now is like an island someplace that could hold these people. But I got the feeling even then they would kill each other. But I think we're going to have we're going to have a hell of a disaster if they break through. It's going to be like if you had this big ant farm in your living room, and the dog knocks it over and breaks it. and ants are all over the place. That's what's going to happen. And these buggers are going to bite. It's just such a high degree of incompetence involved with these politicians to let it get to this point, but it's going to get worse. I mean, like I say, there's supposedly 20,000 more of them on the way. It's going to take an army. You know, even I don't think you got enough National Guard because either you're going to have enough people to physically intimidate them, and they're not going to be easily intimidated, or you're going to have to start shooting. You know, and I think your best choice is to get an army down there. Like 2 weeks ago, they should have been down there. Right from Afghanistan, the army that came back, plopped right on the border. Either that, or I did think the other day when they were showing them walking across that dam, I'm thinking gators. Go to Florida, a couple of truckloads of gators, that could. But what you've got now, you're building up to a crescendo here. This is not going to be good. You can't talk your way out of something like this. You know, all these promises they're making, and they have plans, a plan here, a plan here. We'll process these people. They don't want to be processed. And they do not want to go back to Haiti. But you give them a machete and they can get pretty much anything they want. The Haitians are known for their ability. I don't know why people think, oh, well, they're going to be docile. They're just going to, we can move them here and move them there, no problem. They're just like sheep. They aren't like sheep. Yeah, well, I'm a long ways from there, but boy, oh boy, I wouldn't want to be living along that border because I think all hell is going to break loose rather quickly. Get an army down there. You are going to regret it if you don't.